Let's get more on the situation at Anfield after a dramatic afternoon that has seen Arne Slot sacked and Andoni Iraola emerge as the front runner to replace him. Slot has paid the price for a difficult second season, finishing 25 points behind the champions Arsenal in a poor title defence. We understand talks are due to open with Iraola, who leaves Bournemouth after a hugely impressive spell. Well, not everyone has agreed with the decision to sack Slot. Former Liverpool goalkeeper Sander Westerveld believes the Dutchman should have been given more time.
And I still think that there were so many reasons, and not excuses, but so many good reasons why it didn't go so well this season. And they were not all down to Slot. So I'm a bit disappointed, maybe, that they gave him the sack. I thought, the season would have been totally different if they would have signed Gay, and then they didn't do that in August. And they had agreed on personal terms with Semenyo and Gay in December, but the owners didn't want to invest. So I know for a fact that Slot didn't want Luis Diaz to go. If you then coach with your hands on your back, it's a little bit disrespectful, I think. I think they should give him at least a half a year with new players, and then he can show what he did last year.
Many Liverpool fans struggled to take to Slot's style of play despite the success of his first season. Neil Atkinson from the Anfield Wrap believes his football failed the eye test.
I think it's the right thing to do. I think it's sad, and I think it's sad where Arne's found himself over the course of this season. I think a lot of it has been outside of his control. I think he clearly is a good man. And I think you'd struggle to argue against the idea that he's an excellent coach. But it's worth saying that this season, things have got out of hand in terms of what he was able to control. And I think that the football has deteriorated over the course of the campaign. What you were seeing with the eye was that this was just not good enough. You know, that the crowd was seeing that this was just not good enough in the grounds. And I think that it led to people really having massive doubts about not whether or not Arne Slot is a really good football manager, because you're an idiot if you don't think he is, but whether or not he's the sort of football manager that helps you climb back up the mountain all together on the march. And I think that was the bit that Arne Slot just found at the key moment was lacking in his Liverpool tenure.
Slot's future had been under the microscope for much of the back half of the season. Following a 1-1 draw against Brentford on the final day of the season, Slot was in a reflective mood on what would turn out to be his final post-match interview in charge of the club.
We've heard a lot about standards. Do you have that belief that those standards fans will see more of next season?
Yeah, I do. And I've said before, I think these players want exactly the same what our fans want and what I want. They want us to compete for cups, for leagues, and that's what we did last season by winning it, by playing a League Cup final. And this season we were not able to compete for the league. In the end, we were also not able to win the FA Cup because we lost against the winners, Man City, away from home. It's, although maybe today is not the smartest thing to say, but usually it's quite difficult to win over there. And we've lost in the Champions League, playing in the quarter-final against Paris Saint-Germain, which no team in the last two seasons has been able to beat if you have to play twice against them. Once Chelsea, of course, in the Club World Cup, and maybe Arsenal this season in the Champions League, but not over 2 games. So we know we have to do better. We want to do better. But we also have to take into account all the things that have happened this season. And I'm not going to sum them up because you might want to go home, but I definitely want to go home.
And that's just it. Very lastly, what do you do now? Do you take that break before you start planning? And I know the plans are already in place, but you start going again for next season. Yeah. But first of all, I'm going to do, because this is how it felt. And that will take me a few days. And of course we were already planning for next season, but that energy will 100% come back after a few days, because now it feels like it's been a very tough season. That's why, to a certain extent, as I said many times now, lowest base for Liverpool means 5th place. No, that's not where we want us to be. But other big clubs show this season and in the last few seasons that they're not always able to qualify for Champions League then. Get your energy back. Thank you.
I will. Yeah.
Cheers, Arne.
Thousands of Arsenal fans in Budapest. Many more are going to watch the final back home at the Emirates. More build-up to come.
Season, Mo had an unreal year. This year now, if you look at the statistics of the team, and the stats are way down across the board. So my biggest concern is I don't want this team to just be reliant on, you kind of want phases of play. And I think right now when you look at Liverpool, there's no phase of play where you can say, okay, they're going to do this, they're going to do this, and that's going to happen. Right now it's quite all over the place.
Sorry, Dan, but I think we said before the show, I think you said, and you mentioned there a little bit, we don't know what Liverpool are, but is the point that we do know what they are, and it's what we're seeing? Because it's not going to be like Klopp, and we can't be a club who continue for the next 5 or 10 years saying, oh, we want Jurgen Klopp Klopp football. The fella's a genius. He does that football better than anybody. So whatever manager's going to come in, he's going to play his football. The worry is not that there's no identity. That is the identity. That Liverpool, don't forget, Arne Slot's a Dutch coach, Dutch way of doing things, possession, technical football. You think of the players that are being brought in, they're not Klopp players. So when people keep saying about, like, oh, it's the recruitment upstairs, well, that was the recruitment team who were there with Klopp. They're bringing different style of players in. So it's on the manager that.
Liverpool legend Graham Souness spoke about Liverpool's season a couple of days ago. He was disappointed in the players.
You know, you don't win a league and then become a bad manager. You know, he will have been doing nothing different this year, but for whatever reason it's just not worked for him. But you know, you can look at the players that came in and all the money they spent, they've not done the business for him. But you'd also have to say the ones who were already there from the year before haven't done the business for him, and that's why we're talking about Salah in that way.
Back to the Champions League final countdown. Tens of thousands have travelled to Budapest, but many more will be watching the final back home. The biggest watch-along will be at the Emirates. Amber Sandhu is there for us. Amber.
Well, the Champions League final might be in Budapest, but that has not stopped fans here in North London at the Emirates Stadium. Fans here from midday celebrating, of course, that Premier League title win, but also the hope of making it a double, a historic double. We've heard a lot from Mikel Arteta this year about writing a new history, and that's what fans are hoping for today. The belief, the confidence, the jubilation is definitely here. You'll be able to hear the noise, the sea of red shirts around me as well. Of course, there's a special screening taking place at Emirates Stadium tonight for that Champions League final. For a lot of fans, though, they are very, very, very excited. A lot of belief here. How do you think it's going to go tonight? How do you think?
Tonight?
How is it going to go tonight?
We are going to win.
What's the score going to be?
1-0 for us.
Okay, so a lot of predictions. How do we think it's going to go tonight? How much are you looking forward to it?
Looking forward to it a lot. I think it's going to be a tough game, close game, but I think we've got the momentum, we've got the belief, we've got the best defence in the world against the best attack. I think a solid 1-0 to Arsenal.
Where will you be watching the game? What is the plan for the rest of the weekend? Of course, there's a parade to look forward to tomorrow.
Big time, yeah. Well, I mean, it's absolutely buzzing.